everybody, Phantom Bomb Car here. Pokemon Leaf Green as Team Rocket was a whole lot harder than expected from beginning to end. After fighting with stall tactics and evasion, and a real lack of super effective move damage, we certainly were struggling just like a true Rocket Grunt. So today I want to try something a little different for the challenge run. I know last week I said we would be taking on Emerald with Skarmory, but I wanted to give a Generation 9 run a shot. This is Rika, the ground type trainer and the first member of the Paldean Elite Four. She is also seen as one of the weaker trainers in the Elite Four, so doing a challenge run where I can only use her team, including her abilities, moveset, no held items in battles, the one exception of this being, just like Rika in her Elite Four run, I'm allowed one healing item per battle. This may not be the best idea, but I do want to see what members of the Elite Four have what it takes to become champion of the Paldea region. And just like always, I'll be writing this script as I go through the challenge, so everything here has been written before I've started the run. Actually, go ahead, leave a comment, let me know if you think it will be able to win this one. I have no doubt that this run will be possible. Paldea isn't exactly the hardest region out there, and we are using an endgame level team. I think this may just come to a matter of seeing how our encounters all line up, and the professor fight at the end may be a whole different challenge. Rika starts off with 2 Pokemon, but I go ahead and grab the first 3 while we're on the way there. We start off with Diglett, who we were able to find just before getting Koraidon during the Houndour cutscene. After this, we get Paldean Wooper just outside Los Platos, and something to note about Wooper. Clodsire will be our only Pokemon allowed to terrestrialize, since that is the only one Rika terrestrializes. And the last thing we pick up is a Phanpy, just outside of Cortando. We aren't able to evolve any of these 3 yet, because I will be trying not to overlevel past the next gym leader's ace Pokemon. So for Katie and her bugs, that'll be level 15. Since Phanpy had rollout and defense curl, Rika should be able to take them down no problem. But we missed the rollout with Teddy Ursa, and they're able to get a few Fury Cutters built up, so we end up going down. Attempt number 2, I lead off with Phanpy, so I don't waste a turn switching and can just set up rollout. And that is all it takes for us to take down her teams and get this sweet bug badge from Katie. Before heading to the next gym, I use some skillful and totally intentional movement to grab our next teammate, a Numel, who we grab by the Asado Desert. And on our way to Brassius, I take a little bit of time to take down the Stony Cliff Titan. I don't plan to mention all the Titans and Team Star bosses just because that's not something Rika would have to go through and deal with prior to them joining the Elite Four. The first attempt at Brassius doesn't go great. I mean, I don't know what I expected being a ground trainer, but I may change up how I handle this attempt. So from here on, I'm going to play it like Rika does in game, meaning Wooper is going to be the last Pokemon to come out and we will always terrestrialize it. I don't know if this will make things better or worse, but we will surely find out. Listen, I'm testing for accuracy here, not ease of attempts. Between attempts, I had a few EXP candies and I gave them to Wooper, and we got the evolution into our lovable Clodsire, officially getting our first team member for our final team. And that evolution is all it takes for us to have the bulk we need to take down Brassius and get the grass badge. After quite a bit more searching and getting the ability to surf, I go and get our last team member, Barboach, in the South Province Area 4, and now we have our whole team. We just have a few minor stops before the next gym leader, so let's just go ahead and get those out of the way. I mean, there's only a little bit in between gym badges, and besides, if I'm going to be taking on the league, I want to at least do it at my own pace, have a little bit of fun on the way. And in the process of grinding, I had stumbled across a full odds shiny Phanpy. Too bad Rika's isn't shiny, so I took it out for the EXP and went about my day. Yeah, I'm kidding. Don't worry, I caught it and it gets to live in the box. Along with 4 other shinies we found this run. Yeah, we find 4 other shinies. Up next, we take a detour to guest star on Iono's stream. You know, I think this stream did well because of Rika. I mean, look at Rika and tell me you wouldn't tune into this stream. You'd think a gym battle would be easy given we're a ground trainer, but surprisingly, we end up down to just Clodsire against her terrestrialized Miss Magius. Turns out switching Donphan in on Luxio for some rollout strats wasn't the best idea, especially switching into an Intimidate. After throwing more of our team at Bellibolt than I'd like to admit, it does go down and out comes Miss Magius, a Levitate Pokemon with the electric type, so there is no way to hit it for super effective damage. It comes close to us going down, but we snap out of confusion and take the badge. With that, Rika is a third of the way through the gym badges and one step closer to proving herself in the Elite Four. After doing a little guest star on the stream, we do get some extra pocket monies because Arceus only knows how little Gita is paying us. So thanks Iono for the little bonus. We make our way to Cascarafa because I deserve a bit of a beach vacation. I mean, after all I've done, I'm an Elite Four member. Who's gonna stop me? While I'm here, I take a trip to Porto Marinado and bid on some seaweed because some other people want it. Look, I said the pocket money was nice, not that I'm financially responsible. But it turns out that when we do get the winning bid, Big Bad Kofu decides to take it from us. So I better go put him in his place. No one steals from Rika and gets away with it. Now, I know Rika wouldn't have Thunderfang on her Donphan, so I'll be removing it before I get to the final moveset. that, because most of the moves all come in the mid to late 40s. I think the only two I have that have been learned already is Sucker Punch and Sandstorm on Dugtrio, as well as Earth Power on Numel. As I storm into the gym to take on Kofu, I give him a piece of my mind. I see a really pretty girl on the way, but no time for distractions. I'm getting back what's rightfully mine. I do end up losing most of my team before the Ace Crabominable is out, but Kofu fails to realize something important. Clodsire has water absorb, so any water moves just heal me. After that, it takes just a few hits from Poison Jab to take it down, and we beat up Kofu. You know, after all this battling, I kinda wanna check out that restaurant in Medali. Larry talks about it quite a bit, so it can't be that expensive. Well, it's late by the time I go ahead and get to Medali, and I decide to swing by the Treasure Eatery. Larry had recommended a dish to me, so I give that a shot, and it would have tasted a lot better had I not been interrupted by a battle with Larry. He decides to waste no time putting everything on my team to sleep and slowly taking me down, but I did get to his Staraptor and got a hit off. I'm going at it again. He's paying for my food when I beat him. We start with Donphan, I try to build up rollout, but we get put to sleep, and since I don't allow held items, I can't give it a berry to avoid that. Donphan goes down to Dunsparce, and so does Camerupt. We get to Staraptor, and Wishcash gets a bit of damage off before going down. Dugtrio got taken out in one hit, so last out is Clodsire. It all comes down to this: our terastallized Clodsire versus Larry's terastallized Staraptor. I was about to toxic poison it, but it used Facade, and that would have been terrible for me. But everything goes down, and we get our very well-deserved meal on Larry's salary. So you know I'm eating off the menu I would normally not touch with a 10-foot pole. After that, I got a text that Rhyme was hosting a concert in Montenevera, and I decided, you know, I still have a little bit of time to relax. I mean, there hasn't been a new challenger for a few months, so I'm sure I can take a day off for a concert. I make my way there, and see, there isn't too much of a crowd forming, but that's fine. I hop up on stage and do some warm-up battles just to prepare for the next challenger and impress the crowd. Rhyme, however, doesn't like that, and wants to challenge me to a battle just to prove that she's the better battler. And of course, she wants it to be on stage. I guess she just wants to be publicly embarrassed when she loses to me. She didn't even make me send out Clodsire. It just took a bit of work and everything went back to the grave, just like Rhyme's reputation after this battle. Before going on to the next gym, I want to get as many of the moves on my team as I can, so we're going on a little bit of a fetch quest across the map to get some stuff. We go just about everywhere you can in Paldea, from the mountains to the desert to trips in the sea, and along the way we got involved in some giant Pokemon that were being absolute terrors and menaces, and also some kids who called themselves Team Star. Honestly, that's not really my issue. But I did get a call from Tulip that she has a little gift bag for me since she heard I was making some runs around the region. So I guess I'm headed to meet up with Tulip. As long as she's not trying to get the kiddo into makeup just yet, I'll be happy. Before Tulip even meets with me, I run into Dendra, who decides to rope me to this thing I can only really describe as yoga. Honestly, I don't know, but it's really funny to hear that she makes Tulip do this as well. And of course, Tulip decides I have to work for the gift she wants to give me, so we have a practice battle. And she honestly doesn't stand a chance. The closest she gets to taking down Dugtrio and Camerupt, but we live a pedal dance and we take down 4 just to win. After that battle, I get caught up with the kiddo who's excited that I'm training a lot. She really wants to battle, but we don't do that quite yet. Maybe later, kiddo. Before I prepare to take on Geeta, I have one more person I want to meet up with. I've battled 7 of the leaders, so why not make it 8? And on my way to see Grusha, who's in between racing seasons with snowboarding, we go ahead and start battling. It does take a little while, then we do miss some crucial hits on the way, but we end up getting to Grusha's last member, Altaria. It does come down to the wire with a little bit of terastallization versus terastallization, but Clodsire is able to eat up the hits from Ice Beam like it's nothing. Now we have the gym leaders down, so let's go back to the league and get some matches with the rest of the Elite Four, and then we'll see how it goes with La Primera. But before we go ahead and do that, I go ahead and head over to the Fairy Team Starbase to make myself a ham sandwich and level everything up so I'm sitting roughly at the right level I would like to. And after quite a while and this trek through Paldea, I'm really surprised that we haven't had any more challengers. I mean, there were tons of kids along the way, all saying that they were working on finding their treasure, so I'm surprised none of them made it to the Elite Four. I mean, I host the Champions Assessment, so there's really no reason I shouldn't see them. But the kids sometimes just take longer than expected. Who knows when the next one will be. Now I think it's about time I head back to the office. Just like any other challenger, I do have to take on the other Elite Four members before taking on La Primera. No holding back on any of them, and they won't be holding back on me either. The first fight was against the kiddo, and as much as we love playing around, we don't often get to go all out against each other, so this was a good chance to do that and a good time to have some fun. Just about everything went down nice and easy since I've got the type advantage against Poppy, and it comes down to Camerupt against her little Tinkaton. Man, I remember back when she first got that, it was impossible to get her to put Tinkaton back into the Pokeball, but it was adorable nonetheless. She does take out my Camerupt, but with Donphan still left, I'm able to take out Tinkaton after a few hits from Earthquake, and we move on to the next member. Up next is Larry again. Time for round 2. This time he's using his backup flying team that La Primera makes him use in the Champions Assessment Room. I'm not worried about him. His first 2 members go down with a blizzard each, and Altaria is the only one who manages to live one since we missed. Dugtrio is almost able to take it out with Stone Edge and Sucker Punch, but we go down. That's fine. Camerupt hasn't let me down yet. We survive a Dragon Pulse and take it down. After that is Oricorio, who flinches me, and we get close to taking ourselves out, but a Fire Blast lands to take out Oricorio. Outlast is his Flamigo, who takes us out, so we have Donphan finish up the job. All it takes is a few Stone Edges from Donphan, and we're able to take down the Flamigo. Sorry, Larry, but maybe you can go back on break. We have one more fight before we get to Gita, and we haven't even had to switch into Clodsire yet. I hope Hassel's able to put up more of a fight than Larry and the kiddo managed to. However, I have a few blizzards with Hassel's dragon's names on them. Or at least I would if Flapple didn't take me out before I could land one. But it looks like Hassel is the first to fight my lovely Clodsire. Time to Terrastalize and take out Dragalge and finish off Hassel. He barely does any damage with Sludge Bomb, but does get the poison on us before going down. After being pretty low, I use my 1 full restore for the battle on Clodsire so I can finish the fight strong. However, last up is his Terrastalized Excalibur, and this may come close. We get outsped and go down to a Glaive Rush. I give all major battles 2 attempts, so let's see if we can try a second attempt at Hassel. I forgot to save between attempts at the Elite Four, so I do have to go back through Poppy and Larry to get back to Hassel. On the way, I do get a few levels, but nothing too crazy. And I also realized Dugtrio had several wrong moves. I had Bulldoze instead of Earthquake and Stone Edge instead of Rock Slide. I don't know how I got that wrong, but I did go ahead and fix it, and now our moveset is like it's supposed to be. Except for as I get back into the Elite Four chamber, I realize my Wish Cache has Earthquake rather than Earth Power. No clue how I missed that. I'll deal with it if I faint to anyone. I'll go get Earth Power. But that doesn't happen, and I'm right back at Hassel. Alright, Hassel, you're not getting me so easy this time. Noivern is going to Super Fang right off the bat, so I can't let that be Wish Cache, and I have to keep in mind the Excalibur. It takes a clear head, and I'm able to take down Hassel, and boy was it quite the hassle. I lead Dugtrio against Noivern so that we can try and flinch it with Rock Slide, and we get one, so one more Rock Slide takes it down. That way we go into his next Pokemon with full health. I know he's going to send out Dragalge, so I switch into Donphan, that way we can outspeed it and land an Earthquake. Dragalge goes down, and out next is Flapple from Brassius. So Camerupt is more than happy to give that a little cook with a Fire Blast. Once Flapple goes down, Haxorus is out next, so we switch to Wish Cache, and I gave the dragon a little bit of a blizzard. We hit one and are taken low, but one more blizzard takes it out. Alright, time for the big bad Excalibur. I swap into Dugtrio because if I can set up Sandstorm, we may be able to get a miss on Icicle Crash or Glaive Rush. But he lands a Glaive Rush, taking us out. Whiscash can't live one, but I at least try and get some more Sandstorm damage on it. I then swap into Camerupt to see if I can get a Yawn off, but I'm put down with another Glaive Rush. Donphan's turn, and we live an Icicle Crash to get him low with Earthquake, but one more Glaive Rush takes us down. Come on, Clodsire, it's just up to you. Excalibur misses an Icicle Spear, and we take down the Dragon Master. Let's go, Gramps. I was worried about you for nothing. La Primera, I'm coming for you. The only prep work I really could even do between battles would be giving my team some held items, and I'm sure that might have helped with things like the Smooth Rock to extend Sandstorm, maybe a Muscle Band on Donphan to power up physical moves. Heck, even Clodsire could go with an item, even if it's just a berry. But I don't think I need that for La Primera. She made us look bad on more than one occasion, and I don't intend to let her keep that up. She may have strong-armed me to join the Elite Four, but today's when I get the respect I deserve. She starts off with her Espathra, and I lead Dugtrio. I figured it would help to get the Sandstorm up for the defense boost, and I see if I can get some accuracy shenanigans with Sandveil. But Espathra sets up Reflect, so physical moves like Sucker Punch won't do as much. It takes 2 hits from us before Dugtrio goes down, and I switch in Donphan because I know I can live Illumina Crash. But one more hit from Sandstorm takes it out. Out next is Veluza, and I don't have any great answers for, so I just use Earthquake to get some damage off. But now that Reflect is down, I switch into Wish Cache, who can survive a few liquidations, and 2 more hits from Earthquake take it out. But we are left worse for wear on Wish Cache. Since Go-Goat is coming out next, I think it's time Camerupt brings the heat. And when all Go-Goat does is bulk up, a single Fire Blast takes it out. Out next is her Avalugg, who falls to the same fate. Out next is King Gambit, and I think Fire Blast may be my best option, and we take it out after living an attack. Now is her Glamora. Ugh, that thing gives me the creeps. She terrestrializes it, and we go down to an Earth Power, but I know Clodsire has this in the bag. We bring out Clodsire and terrestrialize ourselves, and that's when I noticed the weather in the overworld start to rain, so our liquidation was boosted, and we get the defense drop. It's like the stars want me to win this. because one more liquidation takes out Glamora and I beat La Primera and have earned the respect I deserved from the start. Man, this is great. I can't believe how good it feels to be a champion. I'm not gonna let her push me around anymore, but for now I think I deserve a break. Hello? Oh, Professor Sada, what do you mean you have something for me? Okay, I will make my way to Area 0. I understand, Sada. I just beat Gita. I think I'll be able to handle myself. I'm sorry, Sada, what was that? You're right. I probably heard something wrong. I'll be there in a little bit. Honestly, I don't know what Sada was on about. I mean, she's been in that crater for ages, so who knows? Maybe she found a new ground type she wants to show me. She always seems smart and caring from the broadcast I saw, so I'm sure nothing's gonna go wrong. For some reason, Sada also sent me with 3 members of the school to go down and see whatever she wants to show off. Arvin, who seems to be her son but looks a little overprepared for this. Then there's Nimona, a champion rank trainer who's the student council president. You know, rumor says she was able to wipe the floor with Gita no problem. And then there's Penny, who has a rather cute backpack. So the 4 of us make our way down to the crater at the center of Area 0. We get to the lab and I tell the kids to wait outside and I go in. Turns out Professor Sada has a time machine and she wanted me to be the one to turn it off. That's a little weird, but whatever. What I wasn't prepared for was as soon as I went to turn it off, the room would transform. There's something really wrong with Sada. The center pedestal rises up and a huge thing in the ceiling opens up and out comes some Pokeballs. Looks like I'm gonna have to fight my way out of this. She starts off with throwing out some weird bug looking thing, or at least I think it's a bug. So I have Dugtrio use Rock Slide and we do get a flinch on it. One more Rock Slide brings it to about half, but we go down. You know what? I think it's time we burn this bug. Out comes Camerupt and we live a hit and land Fire Blast to take down the creepy Crawly. Perfect, I've got this in the bag. I don't even need to worry. She sends out one of those mushroom monsters I fought on the way in. Nothing a little fire can't fix. We go down to a Giga Drain and I think it's just up to Wishcash, who lands a Blizzard taking it out. Sada then takes out a weird looking Jigglypuff and I try to use Future Sight just so that way there's some damage later on. But we get hit with a Play of the Rough and our attack drops and Earthquake isn't doing much. Good thing I have Muddy Water that barely does more damage. I can't risk going for Blizzard and missing, so I keep going for Muddy Water. But Wishcash does go down. You know what, Donphan? It's up to you. Donphan lives in Ice Punch and we take Jigglypuff out with a Poison Jab. She sends out this magnet monster and I go for Poison Jab again, but we're outsped and go down to Flash Cannon. You know what? Clodsire, you're all I have left. I believe in you. It's time to Terrasilize and take this big magnet monster down. We get hit with Earth Power, but one hit from Liquidation almost brings it to half. Another one takes it out, but we're on half HP. She throws out a scary ghost and I just go for Liquidation again to do some good damage on it, but we get hit low with Shadow Ball. Even though we take it out with Earthquake, if she has anything in the back, there's no way we can outspeed it and survive. And then she sends out an insane dragon. All it takes is one Dragon Claw from that and everything goes white. It turns out I wasn't as strong as I thought. Taking on the League was one thing, but Sada was a whole other level entirely. I mean, I had never seen any of those Pokemon before, but you know what? At least one good thing came out of this journey and this trip. I was able to prove to myself I've got it pretty alright. It's not a great job in the Elite Four, but I'm still happy to know I have what it takes to fight amongst the best Paldea has to offer. I open my eyes and I'm back to where it all started. I'm back in my room, like I had been when this all started. It's different, but I like that. There's something new on the horizon and more adventures in Paldea to have. But I wish my head didn't hurt so much. Almost makes me think I'm forgetting something. Whatever, I'm sure that'll come to me eventually. And there we have it. So, could Rika become the champion of Paldea? I definitely think so. But there was a whole lot that went into this challenge, and it was a whole lot of fun. I mean, I'm sure there was some things I could have done to optimize what I had to work with, like EV Train, Natures, Mins, but since Rika doesn't have perfect Natures and EVs on her team until the Indigo Disc DLC, I figured, at least for this run, I would avoid it. Also, just because I know people are going to mention it, switching between opponents was a gray area, and mostly I didn't switch between them in the beginning just because I was playing on set mode and it was a force of habit. But I realized there wasn't really a reason not to. Oh, and one last thing to mention. the healing item that I said I was allowed once per battle. After the Pokemon League, I looked on Bulbapedia to confirm that the trainers had a full restore. And turns out they didn't. This is the one time this isn't the case with the Elite Four. But I wasn't going to redo the gym challenge, so I do hope you guys can forgive me for that. Next week, we're taking a little bit of a break between challenge runs because I need a little bit more time than normal for this one. So when we come back from a week break, we ask ourselves this: can I survive 100 days in Cobblemon? That's right, guys, we're going to be playing a little bit of Minecraft, putting some of what was on the channel before the Pokemon challenge runs, and mixing it with the challenge runs we have now. And don't worry, there will be an upload between now and then, but I did want to at least let you know that there is going to be a break in the Pokemon challenges. The goal is going to be to get them out 3 times a month at minimum, and I do already have a few other challenge runs started. Not next week, but the week after. Tune in and see if we can survive 100 days in Cobblemon. If you guys enjoyed the video or had it fun, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe if you're new. I do try and get these out as regularly as I can, and they take quite a bit of time. Honestly, go ahead and let me know down in the comments if you have any ideas for some challenge runs, and let me know how you guys are doing so far this year. How's 2024 treating you? I'd honestly love to hear it, and I look forward to reading all the comments and replying to everything. It's a really good pastime for me. Okay, outro time. So I had a ton of fun in this challenge. And also, I think you guys probably will have noticed with the way the video was formatted, it was done a lot differently than my other challenge runs. Whereas on my other challenge runs, it was very much analytical. I was looking back. This one, I kind of tried to get into Rika's head, figure out how Rika would play, and I wrote similar to that. I thought it was fun. I've been watching a bunch of challenge runs on YouTube to slightly get inspiration on different styles and different ways of doing things. But I don't know. Let me know. Did you guys like that? Was it fun? Would you guys want me to do some more runs in the Elite Four? Or maybe see if these Pokemon teams, like, what they could be? Definite partial inspiration for this came from Vasco, who does as a gym leader. They've been doing that. I saw that, and then also I was thinking, you know, I really enjoy Rika's team, so I'm sure I'll be able to see if she could become champion. It was a lot of fun, but it was quite a slog. There was a lot of times I was worried I wasn't going to get this out on time, so I really am glad that I was able to. I'm trying to think if there's anything more I would need to say. For those of you who found me through Pokemon, I do hope you guys stick around. By the time you guys are seeing this, I will have already started the Grave Watchers series on my channel. So if you guys can give that a look, it would definitely mean a lot. I know it's probably not going to do as well as the challenge runs do, but I do still like making the Pokemon videos, and I do like making Minecraft content, so I'm going to try and merge them as much as I can. And I think that's all I've got from here. So thank you guys all for watching once again. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. I do try and do the best I can to make some content for you guys that you enjoy. I will be seeing you all in the next challenge run. So I can't wait to see you guys there where we take on Cobblemon. Hope you guys have a great one. Take care.